not done a sit down video on this channel, and I think for me to do it for this specific topic will definitely be interesting. So I'm actually excited to talk to y'all about my journey at college and community college, and just what I've learned, especially now that I'm transitioning into adulthood, officially done with college, and why I didn't choose certain career paths. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Whenever I was a senior in high school, I decided to take it upon myself to actually get into cybersecurity. My college basically partnered with my high school at the time, and what had happened was it was only $25 per credit hour. It was very inexpensive at the time. I think for like the whole 2 semesters you're only paying like $5,000, and if they had general ed, that was something that I would have taken up rather than cybersecurity. Cybersecurity was an option. It was high in demand. It was something that I thought that I would be interested in doing, considering that I used to watch CSI Cyber all the time. I really thought that that was something that I wanted to get into whenever I had chose it. It was my junior year, and then come my senior year I actually transferred to a different high school. So that transition already was different. Whenever I had my class schedule mapped out, it was basically you wake up in the morning, my bus would come and pick me up, take me to the high school, and then once I got off of the bus at the high school, I would get on a different bus to essentially go to the college. That is what you call dual enrollment, where you basically get college credit while you're attending high school. I knew that I always wanted to go, but I never knew what pathway I wanted to take until I actually went to a university. We're still on community college, babe. The community college that I had went to, there was 2 different buildings. So the distance between the 2, one was the main building and then the other one was the tech building. I had a majority of my classes in the tech building. All the students that were a part of dual enrollment, and they all had different majors. Some were in the same major as I was. How it works is throughout the entire county, you had students going there. So I had students who I went to my old high school with in the same program as me, and then there was like 2 other schools. To basically be feeling like you're an adult at such a young age, it was pretty interesting, because once the bus drops you off at the campus, there was like a cafe area you could go and buy food before class starts, and it was really nice because that was for culinary students who wanted to learn how to cook and stuff. It was pretty nice to know that there was a student that was making my omelets every day for breakfast. But when you go in, all the classrooms, they all had like computers and stuff. It was basically a computer lab. Whenever I went into this program, I kid y'all not, it was like 35 students, and towards the end of the program, the ones that had this dual enrollment program with me, babe, there was like 15. People was dropping out of this program like flies. I kid you not. It was so hard, but I did not want to be a quitter. So even in the back of my mind, when I thought that I couldn't do it, I continued, because I was like, I'm not gonna give up. There was like probably 5 instructors my whole entire, I believe in the entire program, there was like maybe 3 or 4 of us as women. Girl, that should have been red flag number 1. Honestly, I just wanted to try and find something that I could essentially see as a career and a pathway. And now let me just talk a little bit about how things were structured and as far as what I was learning within the program. As far as structure and learning style, I had one professor that literally taught 3 different classes. He taught Network Plus, A++, and I think it was like Intro to Cyber. But the way that his learning style was, it was all combined into one, I feel. A regular school day, you have 1st through 5th period, and then like lunch, and then like you have 6th and 7th period in high school. For us, you were basically there up until like, I would say 5th period. So I'd say maybe 8 to like 12:45. That was the time that we spent at the college. And as far as whenever I went back to high school, I literally just went to one class, and then by like what, 1:40, I was free to go home. So that was also a plus, because you're getting college credit, and I only had to go back for one class, which was civics honors. babe, what? Easy A, government. So how they separated it was half of that time you would be doing cybersecurity class and the other half would be math. And for this STEM program, of course you're gonna need math and English. So it wasn't like English 101, it was like English 105 and like 110, whereas you don't really do essays like that. It was more so a combination of like grammar and literature, and I wasn't reading no books or nothing. It was more so just simple paragraphs that you would like write, or I know for one of my classes I had to write a manual. It was just like strange. I did write papers in my cybersecurity classes though, but it was obviously computer science related. I remember my professor, he was teaching me about decimal, binary, and hexadecimal. Yes, those three. I was top notch when it came to hexadecimal. If you knew hexadecimal, you know decimal, and then once you know decimal, binary is easy. It's literally zeros and ones. Each zeros and ones, they all kind of mean different things. Girl, I'm sorry, I'm not going into that, but you get the drift. I remember he was literally writing on the board trying to explain to us hexadecimal. It just was so confusing how he was like trying to explain it to us. So what I was doing was basically, I found a simpler way to do it. So I'm just like, hey, I found a simpler way to do it. Can I elaborate on my point? Girl, why did I walk up to that board and literally embarrass my professor in front of everyone, and was basically saying how to do hexadecimal and how to convert it back to decimal, and then how it converts back to binary so much easier without having to go through 15 billion loops and hoops. Tell me why he told me to create the exam for the class, bro. Because he liked how I did it. I didn't even have to take the exam. The numbers started to slowly decrease as we got to learn about CompTIA. We love her. CompTIA, she can be stressful. What CompTIA is, for those that don't know, it's basically a virtual lab for you to basically learn what a firewall is, how to put the computer together, and then there was other labs, of course, that extended over time. We were just given instructions on how to do it, and there was also a worksheet that printed out what you're supposed to do. But I feel like sometimes he didn't come around as much as I wanted him to really explain it. So throughout my time as a cybersecurity student, it was basically you teach yourself. I found that to be a struggle, and that was a struggle for a lot of other students as well, hence why they quit. But I was not trying to go back to high school. I was not trying to complete 1st through 7th period. No, I was not trying to do that. By the end of the program, there was literally only 3 girls left. I knew my heart wanted to be there, but like my mind slowly but surely, I feel like it was trying to clock out when I started my 2nd year. And what made it a lot more challenging is that not only did you have to pass these classes, but you also had to get certifications. Those certifications were already paid for because you paid for them through the program. You had to take A++, Network Plus. It was just a lot that I thought that I could manage, but I couldn't. I know how to code. I know Python, Java, C#, C++. Like those programming languages, like I still know how to do them. And I know that my parents, they wanted that for me, and I just knew that I could not last another day. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. Towards the end of my program, I was like, Mom, I know that this is something I do not want to do forever, but I love writing. I have a passion for it. You know, I kind of wanted to get into journalism. I got into Wattpad. That's gonna be a different video for another time. I got into Wattpad. I made my first book. It was at 1 million views. I literally thought I was about to be the next Stephanie Myers. Now, without further ado, I'm going to transition and talk about my time at Shepherd. And boy, let me tell you, home of the Rams, I've had a time there. It has its pros and cons. Every college has its pros and cons, but one thing I am grateful for, it allowed me to be very sociable. Anybody I came in contact with at Shepherd, bro, you were an OG. When it comes to being at Shepherd University, I was only there for 3 years. Mind y'all, I graduated high school in 2019, so I had an extra year to do my associates, then I was completely done. And during this time, it was still COVID, and babe, I had to wear a mask. I was isolated. I didn't know anyone. And the crazy part is I was also in the communal dorm. So gratefully, not many people was on campus like that, and they separated the dorms. And what made my life easier while I was at a communal dorm was that I actually had my room right next to the bathroom. It was nice to have that, but it was also strange. Let me get into that. But there was this one girl, she was so strange. Whenever I went to go use the bathroom, like, she was always there, and like I would do my do, and then like I could just hear her like tapping against the stall. It was just so weird. And even after like I washed my hands and stuff and like about to like come out of that, that's when I hear her starting to use the bathroom. But I'm like, girl, we both using the bathroom, so just use the bathroom. One thing that I never knew until I got into my sophomore year was pushing the beds together. That is one piece of advice I will give you. Push your beds together so you can have a big bed and you don't gotta worry. Girl, why did I keep one bed to the left, one bed to the right? I slept on the bed that was to the right, and the one that was on the left, I basically turned it into like a day bed or slash couch situation. Girl, slow. But one thing I did love about the communal dorm is just you don't gotta worry about nobody else. You don't gotta worry about it. So, and even then, whenever it was during COVID where you literally had to mask up everywhere you went, there was not many people in my wing. I think there was like 3 or 4 people. Another thing, please have your fridge and your microwave have a bin that has your foods and snacks and stuff. I am so grateful I didn't live too far from home, so if I wanted to, I can get hot food from the house, bring it home, have it in my little mini fridge, you know, got my little microwave, I can heat it back up. Shoot, I'm grateful I didn't know what an air fryer was back then, because boy, my room would be smelling. But I had a blender though. We're not gonna talk about that. I had a blender. I blended smoothies. Girl, that got me through the day. And most of the time, I didn't even need all of that because I was not on the other side of campus. Now, let me tell you how dumb I was when I first went to this institution. I did not have a proper tour, or even if I did get a proper tour of the university, I didn't remember it when I was coming in. Basically, like this tunnel. You can walk through it and then you oversee the football field, and then there's the other side of campus that has all the buildings and blah, 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 where you're supposed to go. Girl, what I used to do was I would walk to the end of the tunnel and turn back around to walk to my dorm because I don't recall anything about the other side of campus. Ask me about Ramsden my sophomore year. I don't know. I didn't even know what Ramsden was. All I knew was Riverside, and that's where I ate. Nowhere else. Riverside, and then I turned my black behind back around, going in my dorm in Shaw. I didn't even know where the library was. So slow, bro. So slow. Definitely on your campus, please use the bus. Utilize the bus to your advantage because you do not want tickets on campus. And then the thing is, I was a part of this program that offered me scholarships called Multicultural Leadership Team. Shout out to MLT. That was what hold me down. Get into clubs while you are at school, because those people that I saw on Zoom when I actually went to Riverside and they saw me, girl, I did not know who they were. My one friend, Alamede, that y'all see on my vlog stuff, I did not know who he was, and he was the first person that had such a kind interaction with me when I first came to Shepherd. Kadi, I met through MLT. Ola, I met through MLT. Anyways, it wasn't until my junior year that I actually got to know more of these people. But moral of the story for my sophomore year, girly, it was chill. There was nothing too extra about it. Now I'm going to get into my junior year of college. Junior year comes along and my cousin Brianna, she's like, okay, I want to go to Shepherd now too. I'm like, okay, cool, we can be besties, we can be roomies. And the mask mandate is still there, but you're basically allowed to be more sociable. That time, classes were in session, some weren't. We basically moved to the apartments. Girl, if you was not in the apartments, you was not saying nothing. That was where the people was at. There was Prince and there was Dunlop. My junior year, we were at Dunlop. We were on the 3rd level, 312. Shout out to 312. if you know, you know. That was where I met all of my friends. Junior year, girl, I wanted to be active. I wanted to be sociable. I wanted to be friends with every and anybody under the sun. How the apartments are set up is big old building. You walk through the front door. You have the RA on duty. There's two different doors. One's on the left, one's on the right. You basically walk up the steps on the third floor, 312. That was us all the time. And it was such a blast. We had some fun times. How I met Tina and Kadi, Bolu, Fatu, just everyone that y'all have seen in my videos. I wanted to be a social butterfly, like I said before. Brianna was not trying to have that, but she was like, you know what, let me follow her because I don't got nothing else to do. Brianna was a business major, of course, like I've said before, comm major. Tina, Bolu, Kadi, Ola, and Brianna and myself, we were all in MLT. So of course, when we had our first MLT meeting, everyone was together. So that's kind of how we kind of corresponded and got together and became cool. So we also ran into new people like Cam, Baratu, Josh. We ran into a bunch of people there. Like, that's how the friendships united. And, you know, I really got into BSU. Like I said, get active on campus. Find your BSU. If you don't have a BSU, create one. I even met Edwina that way too. And then, yeah, people started coming over, hanging, chilling. It was cool. I met a plethora of people, okay? Those same plethora of people are the ones that I literally see in Ramsden every single day. Oh my gosh, the memories, the people. Everyone in BSU, we all became really great friends. We used to like hang out and stuff, do little study sessions. It was fun. Like, our friend group, top tier. Like, when I tell you, there's people that know me and I know them, but like, not really. But because of my face, aurora that I brought, and being so sociable, top tier. Going to Ramsden, that is where you see everybody, all the action, child. Where we used to sit, me, Tina, and everybody else, we used to sit right there by the front door. How Ramsden was, there was a spiral staircase and there was a door, and then there was also another door all the way to the end. So we sat at the door that's where the spiral staircase was. Girl, when you come in and you see them football players, oh my golly. But boy, I kid you not, that was entertainment. We made jokes, we laughed, we did everything. It was so funny. I started crushing way too hard. I was crushing on, how many people was I crushing on? I was crushing on, I think, three people. I'm not gonna say no names, but there was this one crush. I was just like, Kayla, stop being stupid. He's giving very much slow. Why are you doing this to yourself? He was very much giving mouse, and I fell for it every time. Folded like a chair, because I literally thought this man was so cute. Like, he only talked to me and nobody else. What if he watches this? If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm grateful that you don't. That was crush number one. Crush number two, yeah. What? How would I describe crush number two? One of the first few people that I met when I came on campus, and we hung out, and yeah, but like, one of my friends was like, kind of, how do I put this? We hung out, we went to, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me stop. Anyways, crush number three. I don't think he became a crush until spring semester. I don't know how he became a crush. I think he's just funny, that was all. I was just, football team. And then, oh yes, there was another crush. There was another crush, girl. There was another crush. That one, he was cool. Mr. Military Man. Ugh. That was another thing too. Like, with all of our friend groups, girl, we gave everybody else a name. Girl, we had Mr. Pitbull. We had Mr. Old Fashioned. We had No Sauce. We had Alfredo. Everybody got a name. Don't matter who you are. Everybody had a name, bro. Even Tin Man. Everyone had a name. But come senior year, boy. Senior year, I don't know. I don't think it was bad. I really got to open up a little bit more. As far as my major goes, I got to really just expand more. It was really chill. It was a vibe. I don't think much happened. I got into a relationship I got into a relationship, girly pop. It was very, 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 very low key. So low key, if you were to ask me, I don't even, it was just, yeah. And like one thing that we did have in our apartment, we had like a guest list. So everyone who came to our apartment, you had to sign the board. I thought that was fire. We had movie nights because we had a blow up bed. We had a projector. So the vibes was always immaculate. I feel like my room was fire when I decorated it. Girl, I had LEDs. I did it up. I did my big one with my room. I was having a time. I learned so much about, you know, not just communications, you know, or journalism, because I was also a staff writer for the Picket. When you go to college, make sure you get an on-campus job, because boy, you will want some money. You will want some money, and you will want to, you know, have a little funds here and there. So definitely get a campus job. For what it's worth, use Rate My Professor depending upon your departments, because for me in the comm department, it's very small, so you literally don't have much options. Some majors require more work than others. I know for me, I always knew what I was doing going into the major because I found it so easy. Get into clubs and organizations because it looks good on your resume. Meet people. Do not be in that dorm all the time. The only reason why I was in my dorm most of the time for my sophomore year is because I didn't know people. Get to know your professors, go to the office hours, definitely create a LinkedIn profile. It's basically like Facebook, but for jobs and stuff. And don't be afraid when it comes to college. And I would say go to one college party. Girly Bob, go to one. Yeah, girl, I would not trade my friend group. Even people that like I know that like I'm still like cool with, like there's a plethora of people that I've like met throughout my time. Keep the grades up. That's the most important part. That's what you went to school for. Talk to me nice, because we on Salt and Pepper vibes. Get it. She is very divine, you're one of a kind, but you mash up my mind. You are big and decline.